And now for more insights, Paul Dong joins us via Skype. He is a co-founder of EI Asia Limited and was an official Olympic commentator at the Beijing 2008 Summer Games. Paul, great to have you with us. So the Tokyo Olympic Games are held amid COVID-19 pandemic. As we know, both the organizers and athletes from around the world have made great efforts to make the event happen. So what do you think that the legacies are there and the lessons to be learned from these games?
Well, Wang Dong or Martin, I think, yeah, it's a great topic, but we all know that it takes quite some time to digest and come to some conclusions. But very quickly, it doesn't take much time to say that all delegations and athletes in the entire world, all the host city, Tokyo, and the entire nation of Japan, a very, very big thank you for their diligence and most importantly, sacrifices. We all know it's a big sacrifice, but we don't know exactly what it has been and what it will be. And after the Olympics, and there will be the Paralympics coming up, and what the pandemic situation is like, and will develop in Japan. And then financially, I think it takes several months maybe for us to figure out how big the loss would be. But the rest of the world and the Olympic family should start considering how we can pay back the presumably death-ridden or debt-laden Japanese economy and the local community. And we may tend to leave this topic behind very quickly and even forget about it. But let's hope that as the Paralympics will get underway, we will be reminded of Tokyo again. And think about this, because this not only has a lot to do with the Japanese, but it will mean so much to future hosts like Beijing next winter and then Paris in 2004. I mean, every future host city, together with the International Olympic Committee, should try to, first debrief Tokyo's experience, and at the same time try to enrich their own Plan Bs as detailed and deeply as possible.
And Mr. Dong, it's Qiu Yuan here. Now, China's delegation to the Tokyo Games was its largest to an overseas Olympic Games. Although the country made breakthroughs in events including rowing, sprinting, and sailing, it has also had some disappointments in events such as women's volleyball, like we talked, and women's soccer. What lessons are there for China in these two events, do you think?
Well, of course, I don't recall any single individual edition that during the Olympics, even the biggest medal harvesting nation can be happy about everything. Of course, you have wins and you have losses. And I'm not sure this is the right time for us to blame or point fingers at those who fail to live up to their prior expectations and a lot of hopes, from a women's soccer team to volleyball team. And I think Wang Dong has just mentioned, because he has been so close to women's volleyball team at the reigning or defending champions. They are no longer the defending champions. But at the same time, women's soccer. But we all know that their problems or their potential pitfalls waiting for them before the Olympics have been there long term. And this is especially true for women's soccer, because you don't count on only a few dozen very hardworking players to try to win as much for the entire nation as possible without a very strong and solid pyramid base. I mean, amateur players in their thousands or in their hundreds of thousands, which is the case in the U.S. But at the same time, for volleyball, I don't think we should criticize the general strategy and then also the training methods adopted by Jenny Lang Peng is wrong. I think there is so much that we can carry on from her own very valuable experience. And their losses included some accidental or individual mishaps or unlucky happenings. But at the same time, of course, they have their own regrets, and they do have their own experiences or setbacks to to review for quite some time.
Sure, Paul Dong, due to time limit, we have to leave it here. And thank you so much for your insight, though.